Back again, still in Nashville. This is our third pod here in Nashville.
You guys tired yet or what?
Oh man.
Not too
Dude,
bad, not too bad.
It's always been a place I wanted to come check out, but we've only been able to go to Broadway Street for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But it's been worth it. It's been worth it. We came out here for work. We didn't come out here to play, so we're glad we're able to get what we've gotten done out here. We're super happy with the trip, and I'm glad we get it ended with you. We got Austin Burke out here.
What's up, guys?
Country singer. Got a new song out right now, right?
Yeah.
I seen it on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I want to get into it right away. I don't know if you mind, but real quick, I see you on your clips. You're walking up to like complete strangers, right? And you're like, "Hey, check this song out."
For sure.
How's that, man? How's that? Just walking up to somebody random and hey, take a listen.
Man, I feel like it's the most real, because. And people are a bit intimidated. They're like, I'm sure there's some BS with it. Like they're like, oh, I love it when they don't, but you can actually see, and I like to zoom in on people's faces because you can see the reactions,
the initial reaction,
and it's real. Like, so I feel like I'm kind of at that level where I'm at ground zero. I really gotta grind. It's like y'all, like, and that's why when you asked me to be on this podcast, I was like, man, these guys are hustling. Like. They are really doing it. Like you guys are going to do big things just from your hustle. I truly believe that. And I feel like, I'm at that level where you just have to hustle, man. You got to show like literally one person at a time, your songs, one person at a time, your podcast, and just see what they think,
Yeah, absolutely. No, we appreciate you saying that, man. Yeah, it's definitely a hustle. Put a lot of work into this. And we're in it. We're in it for the long haul. It's
well,
funny.
I know I'm, the one that's on the podcast, but we just met.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about you guys. Like, I know we just kind of talked before I came on here. You're from Southern California, but tell me how, like, you started this podcast and kind of your background and where you're from and a little bit about you.
So we both grew up in California, different parts of California, came together to do business on
Where are you from originally?
Fontana, California.
I know that very well. What about you?
So I was born in all my family's like in East LA area, but when I was like 5 years old, I moved to Orange County.
Nice.
So I still have all my family in LA. I'm there often, but I grew up and raised in Orange County area.
Cool, man. That's awesome.
So we linked up on a separate business venture. Then we both listened to podcasts and so forth. So we liked the idea. We just didn't really know how to get it started. So we talked and messed around with it. Like, hey, let's start a podcast. And nobody really took it seriously at the time, right? And then we were like, hey, let's kind of get into it. Let's start it. So we started kind of purchasing the equipment, getting everything together. He did a lot of research on it, like exactly what we needed to, like what was compatible to what and so forth.
We have zero experience or training with cameras, with microphones, with switchboards, with setups, with soundboards. Like we have no experience. We've never dabbled in it, but we were like, all right, if we're going to do it, let's do it. So we countless nights of just staying up, researching things, finding things online, and just reaching out. So we have like this switchboard that I found on YouTube, and I seen a guy that was very like, knew the ins and outs of it. So I was like, all right, I reached out on YouTube channel, and his name is Brandon. I'm going to mispronounce his last name, but Peltz, something like that. He's been super helpful to us. But reach out to him. We're like, hey, I'm really intrigued with this little board right here. I think it could help us with our podcast. And luckily he hit back. And then we just kept a good relationship with him. And anytime we run into any kind of bug or issues, he's always there to help. But it's just things like that where you're just finding, researching and then just finding, things that'll work and then just putting it together. And like I said, we have no experience, but every time somebody sees our setup, they're like, not to brag or nothing, but they're really impressed with it.
No, and people that are listening and watching, they can't see the setup, but it's badass. Like I've done a lot of podcasts. This is crazy. And you have your fiance producing behind the board, making it happen. So shout out to her, by the way.
We had to cut costs, so we had to hire family. just play.
But we spent a lot of time, like actually, like before we actually went live and everything, we spent a lot of like just demo mode and just go running through it. There's a lot of like told the last guest, there's a lot of tape that won't ever hit the
That's fine,
there,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of our trial and error.
Yeah.
We went through it. There was a lot of there's a couple like mistakes on some. There was like transferring files and so forth, but we were able to come out and get it done, man. So it's
for sure.
It's
No,
blessing.
I respect the hustle, and shout out to Mac. He's the one that made this happen.
Yeah,
Dude.
Mac
he's the
man.
man.
Yeah.
And he hit me up. He was like, "Would you want to do this podcast?" And I think what it comes down to is like, I love podcasts, but I only want to do stuff with people that I'm like, oh, this is legit, this is cool, and you guys had a great. Just the initial thing that I saw was like, this is badass. So congrats to y'all for.
Appreciate it,
I know
brother.
you say
I
you're new
appreciate
at it, but I'm very impressed, and I think you're gonna make it a very long ways. What did you do before podcasting?
It's a completely different field, RF engineering. So it's
Wow.
a completely different field. Has nothing. So like when we brought it up to Bobby, he was like, "What in the hell are you guys doing? Like, like why do you guys want to be in the space?" So we explained it to him. We showed him that we had like the passion behind it, and he believed in us. And so we're making stuff happen with work with Bob. We work with Brett, and they really helped us out, and they're guiding us through it and everything. I think that's a big thing. Probably. I'm sure in like the music industry is probably similar, right? You need some guidance there, right? When you're in there to make the accomplish the most successful deals and so forth. So that's kind of like what we lean on them for.
No, I think the cool part about Nashville is it is a family type atmosphere. It's different than LA, it's different than New York. People genuinely want you to win. And I think a lot of times in LA and New York, you got to watch your back.
Yeah.
People are out to get you, and that the more successful you get, the more people you have trying to bring you down. But I will say in Nashville, it's different in the fact that people want you to win because it means that they'll win too. It's like even Mac, reaching out to have me on here, like he didn't have to do that. He's like, hey, he wants me to win because that means that he wins, and I want him to win because that means I win. That's that kind of mindset we have out here. It's not, hey, I'm not gonna invite this dude. He's better than me. It's not like that. It's just not. And I think that's what I love about Nashville, and it's exciting to be here and be a part of something like that.
It's crazy. The last 3 guests obviously have been from Nashville, and it's crazy because all you guys have like a very similar mentality. Like it's all like the grind, right? The hard work and the putting in the hours and knowing the sacrifice that you're putting in for your craft, right? And all 3 of the guests that we've had on, it's very, very different than some other guests that we've had on, and just the mindset behind it. I think that's really cool, and it's cool to experience it while we're here.
And to like go off of what you said, like all 3 of you have been like super supportive of us and what we're doing. Like Mac is the first guest we've ever had we hit it off. We had a great time with him. Shout out to Mac. He earned
Good
2
dude.
new. Freaking. We love that guy, man. Mac was cool, but he's the first guy to ever, finish a show, wrap it up, and him get up and go like, you know what? Let me see if I can get you guys somebody else.
Yeah.
While you guys are down here, and it's just like super cool of him to do that. Like he didn't have to, but
For sure.
he's helping us out, helping you out. And he's not gaining anything out of it. He didn't ask for no money. He didn't ask for nothing in return.
Yeah.
Just genuine. So yeah, it's a cool vibe out here, man. And all you guys like,
Appreciate the support.
Like you said, it's just super sincere, and it's cool.
Absolutely.
To see that, man. It's cool to see
Absolutely, man. No, I was telling my wife, I had a long day. I woke up at 6 a.m. and I leave for Austin tomorrow morning. But at like 7 a.m. my flight or whatever. But I was like, man, I don't know what it is. Like, there's just something about these guys. Like I would message you and enough, talking nice about each other, but like, I was like message you right back right away. And like, it's just good vibes. And I believe in you right away. And I know you guys are going to do big things. And I feel excited to be a part of the podcast from one of the, first people to be a part of it. I feel like an OG.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you coming out, and you're helping us out, right, by being on, and
Sure.
hopefully we can in return and help you out a little bit.
100%. That's what it's all about.
Roll into it.
Yeah, let's get to know you a little bit, man.
For sure.
How did I know before we got on, we talked a little bit, and you said you went to You went to school in high school in San Diego, right?
Yeah. So I grew up in Arizona. I'm a 5th generation native of Arizona. Very proud of Arizona. And I moved to San Diego when I was a freshman in high school. I went to Mission Bay High School for 2 years, and then I graduated from La Jolla. And man, I loved my time in San Diego. It was some of the best times of my life. Obviously, high school is a lot of people's best times of their life, but it was just a beautiful place to be. And I made some of my best friends in the world out there. Actually, one of my good buddies, Christian, shout out Christian Ortiz. He's about to get married here in a couple months in Brazil to his girl, Julia. And he was in my wedding. And, I have so many friends, Robbie, Tanaz, shout out all of them. They're like some of my best friends in the world still in San Diego. So I miss it, man. I miss the weather. I miss so much about it. And I've been lucky to go back and actually play quite a few shows in San Diego. And it's been cool every time I go back. It just, I got all the friends coming out and supporting. So
hey, so at what point or at what age were you like singing? Were you singing back then in high school and stuff like that already? Or
it's weird, man. So I grew up. I learned the national anthem when I was 2 years old.
Oh, okay.
I know that sounds crazy, but my dad filmed.
Hard song to sing, right?
Yeah, it was. But my dad thought I would like the horse. We went to a rodeo, and he used to have his like camcorder, on his shoulder, and he was filming the horses. He thought I liked the horses and the bulls and the cowboys and everything. And I ended up just liking the national anthem. And so I went and I would watch the national anthem, say, play it again, play it again, play it again. And my dad would rewind it, play it again. And I learned all the words at 2 years old. And my dad was like, this is crazy. Like, I've never seen anything like this. So he started filming me singing it. And he sent it around to Rosie O'Donnell, Phoenix Suns, Diamondbacks, Coyotes, all the sporting events in Arizona. And they were like,
what year was this?
This was like, I learned it in 95. So probably 96, 97 is when I started.
96, 97. How do you send that to everybody? Now, Instagram.
Dude, it was like FedEx, UPS, USPS mail. Like he would
VHS. Huh?
VHS. Yeah, he'd take a video and he'd send it, to whatever address he would look up in a Yellow Pages book.
See, hey, we're spoiled. This generation's spoiled, man. Back
for
then,
sure.
Man, no shortcuts.
No, my dad had that hustle from, for all, he's the best salesman I've ever met in my life. And so he taught me a lot about working hard and my dad's been in so many different areas of sales. He's, sold cars. He sold office supplies. He's sold mortgages. He sold so many different things. And now he's in oil and gas and different, I don't even know what he really does. He sells stuff, but he's just good at selling stuff, man. And I think so. He sold me. He sold what I did. And
who took the bait when he sent all that stuff?
So the first person I believe to have me were the Phoenix Suns. Oh, okay. So I think that was the first national anthem I did. And then my dad filmed that. He was good at like parlaying my thing. Yeah. So I learned that national anthem in my living room. He filmed that, took that. I sang for the Suns. He filmed that, took that, sent it to somebody else. And next thing I know, man, I was on the Rosie O'Donnell show when I was 4 years old. And she flew me out to LA, and it was Studio City, in Hollywood, and had my own trailer. Mini M&Ms just came out. It's the weird things you remember as a kid. Mini M&Ms just came out, and they were in that little tubes. And I popped the cap, and I just take the whole thing and chug them. And then I ended up, dude, I had so much. I was like 4 or 5 years old. This is the weird thing I remember. I had so much candy in that trailer. I ended up passing out. And my parents were like trying to shake me to wake me up because I had like a sugar coma. And they were like, you got to wake up. You got to go on. You got to go on. And I remember like waking up from this daze and being rushed on a stage. There was a little X on the stage with tape that I had to stand in. And I just remember standing in that X at 4 years old, my cowboy hat. I looked like a little Garth Brooks. And I sang, dude. I was like waking up from a nap singing. And that was my first time on national television. I screamed when I went to the chorus of that song, Friends in Low Places. And it became a memorable moment on her show. And she had me on again when I was 8. And kind of, I mean, I'll skip through a lot of BS, but I quit singing when I was 10. I was a big baseball player, and I didn't want to sing anymore. I got sick of it. I was just like, this is too much, going from one thing to the next. And I played baseball until I was a freshman in college. And I found my love again for singing actually when I moved to San Diego and was bullied pretty bad in high school. I've started to play guitar again and write songs, and that was kind of my outlet for my frustration. And I found that love again, man. I took like honestly 6 or 7 years off of singing. Wow. So and I haven't really stopped since.
That's something interesting to touch on. You know, you mentioned it, getting bullied. Like, how did you deal with that? And what? Any idea why? Just because you're from out of town, something maybe?
So I was a minority at my school, and like as a white guy, I'm not supposed to say that, but I truly was. I was one of 20 white kids at my high school, and I know that might sound weird, but like I didn't fit in. Even with the white kids, I didn't fit in. Like because I was from Arizona and I was a zonie. You know, and they didn't like zonies because we would come to the beaches and screw stuff up. And I just didn't fit in with anybody, man. I really had a hard time, and it sucked. I remember one day at school, this kid, remember the lunch trays?
Oh yeah.
He filled up a lunch tray with ranch dressing, and he smacked me in the face in front of everybody at school, in front of the whole student body, really. And I couldn't even tattle on him because, snitches get stitches. so it was just man, I remember like waking up, going to school and just really not even knowing what would happen and being afraid to walk through the halls. There was a gang called Pyru that was really prevalent at my school, and they would literally, I'd walk to the gym and they would push me back and forth. And, some of them had knives, dude. Like I'm telling you, the school I went to was scary, and I normally don't like to talk about that, but it's real. I mean, I was scared for my life.
Yeah. No. Reason why I even touched on it is because, there's, bullying's a big thing, right? And it's
for sure.
And it's just, I don't know if you could just put out there, like what you did to overcome it, and how
it can help somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
how
somebody
can help
else.
somebody else go through the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking for.
I think, at the time, I didn't realize that I didn't even realize I was getting bullied. Like it's weird when you're in it.
Yeah.
You just feel like everybody hates you. And I think that the biggest advice I have for people that are going through something like that or don't feel like they fit in, getting bullied, is like, man, a lot of the bullies are just insecure. There are a lot of them are just really struggling themselves. And the way that I dealt with it obviously was through songwriting and writing songs and playing guitar. But I also, playing baseball, I just went out and I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder every time I walked on that field. And so I had to hustle. I had to work hard. And it kind of, I know it sounds weird, man, but I'm really like, I'm so grateful that I got bullied because I feel like it made me who I am. And if I didn't go through that stuff, if I didn't experience getting dirt shoved in my face and getting, beat up a little bit, I probably wouldn't be who I am today. And so I don't know. I know that sounds weird, but I'm grateful.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm grateful.
Yeah. And it probably toughened you up for like the comment sections on everything.
For sure. And in the world we live in now, like everybody's so soft. Like everybody is so afraid to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. And for me, it's like, man, you gotta experience life. You have to, bad things are going to happen, and stuff's going to happen, and you got to get through it. Like you can't just be soft. You have to work hard. It's like you got to hustle, man. You got to make shit happen.
Absolutely.
Dude, I haven't got a thing handed to me, bro. I've had to scratch and claw. I'm an independent artist. Like every label told me to kick rocks, everybody said good luck. Like I've had to really, really like work hard for what I have. And if I wasn't bullied, I wouldn't have that.
Yeah. That like helped you develop that drive and push forward when times are tough. And stuff.
For sure.
Right.
It's like life, right?
Yeah.
Life, when you're going through life, man, it's like, even though you're a kid at that time going through that, you kind of learn how to get, when you get knocked down, get back up, right? And that's life, right? Life, you're going to go through all those ups and downs, and it's like, how many times can you get up? So you're gonna get knocked
Absolutely.
down multiple times.
And I definitely, want to preface it with I say this generation, but like it's just the society today. There are a lot of people that are going through hard times and struggling with things that I never had to personally struggle with: anxiety, depression, all these things. That like it's real. My little sister, I'm the oldest of four. A lot of my siblings struggle with depression and anxiety and all that stuff. And man, I feel for that. I really do. It's something that I've been so blessed to not have to worry about, but I feel that, with them. And I'm not saying that they're soft for that. That's some real shit. What that is real. And so I just want to preface, like, I'm not saying that society is soft. I'm just saying there's a lot more that people are dealing with now that I never had to deal with growing up. And you know what I'm saying? Even just like the way that the world is right now, it's scary, dude. We live in like a scary time.
Absolutely,
so I was lucky to not have to live in such a scary time, growing up. But it's real.
One of the things that that's a lot different from when I grew up is the social media part of it, right? The social media part of it wasn't as big or heavily influenced when I was a kid. So like everybody is really tough behind the keyboard, right? And does a lot of more bullying, right? And back then, let's say if you went to school, you got bullied for that period of school, then it shut off, right? Then you don't see that bullying until the next day, weekend's gone. Here with social media, it's an ongoing thing, right? You can just you're constantly online. Everybody's online.
That's so real, bro.
And so that I think that's a lot tougher to handle, and that's for kids out there now that get bullied. It's at a different level than it was in my era. I can say
that's so real, and that's what I'm saying. It's like yes, I was bullied, and I would wake up every day and I would deal with that bullying from 9 a.m. to 2:30, my school day, right? And I would go home and it was good.
Yeah.
I wasn't bullied at home. But now these kids, man, they're having to deal with it constantly. They open their phone, they're getting notifications that they're getting bullied. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a different level. I never got notified that I was being bullied. It's crazy.
Yeah. That is absolutely, man. Yeah. No, and we appreciate you opening up about that and stuff like that, man. That's it's terrible. It's terrible that kids could do that to each other, but it also shows that, it's not the end of the world. You can still succeed, right? You can push forward. You can, don't let that just dude, I don't know.
It's crazy. No, so my wife, we just found out a couple weeks ago that she's pregnant. So
congrats, man. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. So one of the biggest questions I'm asking people is that have kids, and do you guys have kids?
Yep.
How many?
5.
You have 5 kids?
Yep.
That's crazy. Well, how old?
3. How old am I?
35. No, how old are your kids?
My oldest, I had a kid at a very young age, so he's already 18.
Okay.
And then I have one that's 14. My youngest, just to put on in the scale, my youngest is 2.5.
Wow.
Big scale.
How about you?
I have 3. I got 2 and then a stepkid.
That's incredible. Okay, so you're the perfect people to ask this question to, because I'm asking everybody. How do you raise a child today with technology? Because if you don't allow them to use it, they'll fall behind. And if they're exposed to too much, it can really be a big problem. So where do you stand on that, and how do you deal with that?
I could start. I could give advice, but it's not what I've done. But it's something that I've learned. Like, oh shoot, I should have did it this way.
Mm-hmm.
My kids have had phones, iPads, games, whatever. Looking back, I feel like I wish, because they're already teenagers. They're already kind of they're freshmen in high school. But I wish, like, further back, I would have started them and put time limits on it. You can have it from this time to this time, and then take it from them at night. Like a certain period, I wish I would have taken stuff from them, because it becomes a big distraction, a huge distraction. Sometimes they're going to sleep super late, or I'll fall asleep and they still and I don't even know what time they're going to sleep. Stuff like that. I just feel like you gotta allow them to do it so they get familiar with it, but have restrictions and limitations on it.
Yeah, for what I did with them is Monday through Friday, they were not allowed to be on any devices or anything like that.
Wow.
So then Friday comes, they're allowed to be on, do whatever. So there's pros and cons to that also, because then on Friday night they're staying up until like 5 in the morning. They're like, they're getting the max out of their time, and then on Sunday night they're trying to like max that thing out, you know. So that's all they want to do on the weekend also, right? Because then they're like, hey, I didn't play throughout the week, so now I want to utilize the weekend for that. But I think kind of that mindset is probably the time limitations probably would work the best, because they're gonna get their hands on it, man. It's so big. Of course, their friends are gonna have it. They're
on another level.
Yeah.
So one of my kids got in trouble, so we're like, hey, give me your phone, everything gone, you're done. Took it all, and we thought we were good, and we were like, heck yeah, we nailed that. Good job parenting. They were the best. And then one of his friends from school gave him like an old phone of theirs, so he didn't have like the cellular data, but he was using the Wi-Fi, still texting. So one day, dude, we were like, I think Jen, she wanted to go say something and went in the room and saw like the light from the phone, and like he tried to cover it. And we're like, what the hell? The whole time we thought he had no phone for like a month. He had the phone a whole month. We're like, man, so it's like, it's too accessible. It's so accessible, man. Yeah. You could try to limit it, but there's workarounds, and they figure it out, man. Kids are smart, dude. Kids are super smart, man.
They're super smart. I mean, think about the stuff we did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what. Yep, I go back to that. Shit, man.
I think too. It's scary for me because I like to think that I'm pretty savvy when it comes to technology. Like you said, you're like, hey, we got them. They're good, but like, dude, they're gonna find new ways that I don't even know about. And now, as I'm getting older and I'm about to have a kid and everything, it's like, you really get an appreciation for your parents. And, you know, I will say this, man, I think the generation I grew up in, it's like we were exposed to technology at a very young age. I mean, to the point where I had a cell phone at 6th, 7th grade. I remember being able to like legitimately cheat on tests in high school very easily with my phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it was super easy. I would literally put the answers on my screen like this, and it would just be right there. I didn't have to open my screen. But I feel like I understand the consequences of technology, whereas I feel like that my parents didn't understand the consequences because they didn't.
It was new.
They didn't have it, right? So I understand the negative, whereas my parents only saw the positive. I see the negative. I see what it can do to people. I see the anxiety and depression, all these things that are happening, and all these things that I didn't grow up with because of technology. And it's real, man. It's like my great grandpa, he's 96 years old. He always says everything's okay in moderation. Exactly. Everything is okay in moderation. So and you know what, bro? That's damn true. Too much of anything is bad. Too much water, you die. Yeah. Too much oxygen, you die. You know, too much of anything is bad. And so it's just one of those things you got to monitor. And we realize, I think, as you guys are parents and I'm about to be, there are negative side effects to social media and just technology in general.
1000%. So how far along is she?
So she's going to be doing the fall. So she's I don't know the exact number. It's so weird, man. Like I don't really get the pregnancy weeks and all that. It doesn't really make sense. They're like, oh, it's this, you know, it's the first week of her cycle and all this. I'm like, and then you go to the doctor and they're like, nah, the baby's this old. I'm like, is there a real number? Like, give me something that's like quantitative. Like, what's going on here? But she's doing November. So we're excited. We're about to find out the gender and all that.
You guys gonna do like a big gender reveal party or something like that?
You know, it's so weird. I feel we're not. And the answer is, I feel like it's kind of corny now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I told Lexie, I was like, man, I kind of want to have your mom find out before us. And I want to like walk into the house and have the house be decorated and have it just be for us, because really nobody gives a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like my friends don't care. Yeah. Like, they don't want to see me like hit a golf ball and it turn pink, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants to see that shit. So it'll just be for us. And I don't know. It's kind of a special thing you know, I want to be able to celebrate with her when I find out what it is. And it's also one of those things where I don't really care, boy or girl. I'm just ready to be a dad. I'm ready to be a, you know, a father to this child. Like I don't care what it is, you know? So it's cool.
Yeah, no, super cool. The first one's always fun. The second one, you're like, I did this already. No, I'm just playing.
Dude, I should not say this right now. It's taken everything to not say this, but I heard, no, for real, this is bad. I'm probably going to get some bad shit from this. I'm going to preface this. This is not me saying this, okay? I heard this, and do not cut this out that I'm saying this.
Go for it.
I heard this comedian say this the other day, and I sent it to my wife because it was funny shit. He said, getting kicked in the balls is way better than birthing a child. He tweeted that, and women went nuts. They were like, they go, are you kidding me? Like, no way. How could you say this? But like everything you could imagine. And he said, I understand your frustration, but I've been kicked in the nuts and I've never wanted to do it again.
That is true.
And he dropped the mic. He said, man, how come y'all want to have another? He said, I never want to have another kick in the nuts, you know? But funny. No, it was just a funny joke I heard. Definitely not true. The shit my wife is going through right now would never want to go through that.
No, absolutely. They're moms are on a different level. I'll vouch for that. Like, especially the ones that are actually like stay at home moms. Holy shit. I'll work 100 hours a week not to be a stay at home dad. Dude, that's another level, man. Because there's no turning it off, right? There's no turning it off. It's like, all right, you might get a break here and there, but that shit's right back on and you're going, and it's like, you're working for free. You're working for free. You're
for
working.
Sure. No, and I mean, I have a different appreciation for single moms, and I have a different appreciation for, you know, moms at work. And just, I mean, dude, the things that I've seen my wife go through just in the few weeks that she's been pregnant is like, it's a miracle. And you don't appreciate what a woman goes through until you actually see it happening to your wife or your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, bro, I had no idea. She's like, my lower back hurts. And it's because her damn hips are expanding to make room for this baby. Like, dude, this shit. I mean, it is wild. This baby is like, apparently, you know, women, and dude, I feel like I'm back in college. I'm like learning all this shit, you know? I'm like reading up. I got this app called, shout out to this app called, give me a sponsorship, by the way. Daddy Up. Daddy Up is the app. And it tells me, look, bro, I'll log in right now. It says what my wife is going through. And so she thinks I'm a genius. She's like, wow, you're so sensitive.
Just go into the app.
Now she's in
and dude, no, it's okay.
It.
It's okay. I mean, it is what it is. But look, it says right here, it says, Lexie looks gorgeous today, doesn't she? You've never seen someone vomit so gracefully. You're falling in love with her even more than the day you first met her. Shouldn't you tell her that? Bro, I told her that.
Smart man, dude.
She loved
Smart
it.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
But no, honestly, and I, no bullshit. I genuinely mean this. Like, there is nothing sexier than seeing my wife carrying my child.
Dude. Because she's doing
Would
that
you
for
agree?
you. Yeah, absolutely. That's
It's like this shit is crazy. I've never been more attracted to a woman in my entire life than my wife walking down the stairs like, oh shit, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like, baby, what do you need? Like, I will do anything. I will drop my day. Like, what do you need? I'm your servant today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What age did you guys meet?
So we met when I was 18. So I actually met her a couple of days before I turned 19. She was 18. We met first week in college.
Okay.
So we actually met in Santa Barbara.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, we went to Santa Barbara City College. And I mean, the only reason I was meant to go there was, I think, to meet her. She went for a semester. I went for a year, and ended up dropping out and moving to Nashville. And she moved to LA. We were long distance for a long time and broke up, got back together, broke up, got back together. And it's one of those things where um I I I always knew that she was the one. Like literally the day I met her. I know it sounds cheesy, but the day I met her, I was like, she's the one for me. Like there's something about this girl. If y'all need to meet her, she's the sweetest. She's a light in the world. And the day I met her, I just knew. But you know, God has his own timing and it took a while. We dated for 7-8 years before we got married. And it wasn't easy. You know, there was a lot of times where I was like, man, this might be it. And I moved to Nashville actually without her because she broke up with me. Thank God she broke up with me. I was like, screw you, I'm moving to Nashville. And I moved to Nashville and, thank God she ended up texting me one day. And you guys know how this is, guys. She writes, I'll never forget where I was. I was downtown YMCA and she texted me. I was working out. She's like, hey, I have some of your clothes. Do you want me to send them to you? I said, let's go.
We're back.
Hey, we're back.
I'm back.
I'm back. A couple of these real quick.
Hey, spot me real quick.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So but honestly, it's been. She's my best friend, dude. Like she's the love of my life, and we've been through so much together, and so many ups and downs in life. But I think when you get to a certain age, you're like, man, I just want somebody that I want to go through life with.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's beyond I love you. It's like I want to experience the worst and the best and everything in between with you. And I don't want to do that with anybody else. If I had to do that with somebody else, like I'm out. That's it. I'm done. Like, she's the one for me, and that's where we're at. And it's exciting. It's just a new chapter. I was talking to her the other day about having a baby. We've been through a lot together as a couple. Now we have dogs and everything, but like getting married is not that it's not that big of a change, really.
Yeah.
Like a lot of couples live together. I mean, we lived together a couple years before we got married, and nothing really changes that much other than your bank accounts, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
But having a child it's like everything changes, man.
Yeah. Different chapter, right? It's a different chapter.
It's the next chapter, but it's a big chapter.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
is
huge.
It's a big chapter.
Yeah, enjoy the sleep right now, brother. Enjoy the sleep right now. That's
Oh shoot! I got my Whoop, dude. My Whoop is. You ever use the Whoop app?
No,
y'all got to get that thing, dude.
Right,
I had to take it off. I was doing some stuff today, but it monitors your sleep and it monitors like your workouts and everything. It's the coolest. It just you don't even feel it. It's like a Livestrong band.
Oh,
It feels
like,
yeah. And it's mesh though, and it's badass, dude. It shows like how many calories you burn and everything a day. But it monitors your sleep, which is dope. So I'm excited to see how that shit's gonna go down.
Hey, so did you use the voice on your wife, man? Have you used it before? Like when you initially got with her or anything?
Like singing?
Yeah. Like
no,
she knew
what's
you.
Weird is so she knew me as a baseball player.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's how we met. Like she thought I was a baseball player, and that's the thing about her is we've been through so many different parts of life. When I first met her, she wanted to be an actress in LA, and now she's running a shirtless cowboy show, and she's an entrepreneur, and she has an Airbnb and is like a badass and totally not involved in that side of life anymore. And that's the same with me. Like I don't do anything baseball anymore, and so it's that's what I mean by that person that you just want to go through life with. It doesn't really matter what you do. And I feel bad for people that like get with people that want something from them, or like they have a lot of money and they have these like, sugar babies or whatever it is. Like I feel bad for them, bro, honestly, because they don't get to experience the real like fruit of going through shit and experiencing stuff together, good or bad. I remember Lexie and I had during the pandemic, we I don't know if y'all know this, but a really bad tornado actually ripped right through here, bro. This area that we're in right now probably was leveled. I mean, it was in 2020. So right as the pandemic, I think was it before or after the pandemic? It was like the tornado happened. Now this is what happened. Tornado happened. 2 weeks later, a pandemic happened.
Oh, damn.
And we had just turned our house into an Airbnb. And I remember, man, we had no money. I remember sitting in a Costco parking lot, like with $8 or $9 in our account. And I was like, I don't know how we're going to do this, you know? And those are the moments that you remember. Those are the moments that shape you as a couple and make you. And man, I hate to say it, but I love that shit, dude. Because it just, like we were talking about earlier with getting bullied and stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't experience that, you can't enjoy the highs.
Yeah, the highs, exactly.
The highs.
They
The
make the
highs
highs that much
don't
better.
mean as much.
Yep.
When some good, like, and some awesome stuff has happened, I would not appreciate it if, like, I didn't have to go through that stuff.
Yeah, they say, like, I think there's a saying, you got to be grateful for your lows because they just make the highs just that much better.
So much better.
Gives you so much more of like a appreciation for them and stuff.
For
And
sure.
the struggle, right? Too, like you guys in the relationship, if you guys can grind it out at the absolute lowest, then you're gonna be fine on the way up, right?
Yeah.
It's just only going up from there, right? You know that you're working together as a team to get through that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's
And it's
a-
not all. I think that's another problem with social media is everybody wants to act like everything is just perfect.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
You know, and
absolutely.
this is perfect
Absolutely.
relationship. This is perfect family. This is perfect life. And man, Lexie and I deal with stuff every day that is like, oh, are you kidding me? Like another day of this bullshit. Like there's some stuff that happens that we're just, it's like, man, this sucks, you know, but we get through it and we communicate and we talk and I'm an asshole and she, you know, she forgives me and she might wake up on the wrong side of bed and I forgive her. And you know what I mean? But it's not always this perfect life that everybody portrays their life to be on social media. It is a hard thing. In marriage, you have to work every single day, but she's more than worth fighting for and working on with. And it's like, it's so beautiful, man. When you have those days, you're sitting by the fire, hanging out together. It's just, it makes it all so much better. So,
Man,
Yeah.
dude, you're making me all man, love, dude. The love is in the air.
in
You
our
can feel the
fields,
love,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
Shit. Gotta step my game up. I'm sorry, babe. No, so when did you know, just to get back on your come up, right? So you kind of stopped singing, right? And then you picked it up again, you said in college time?
yeah. So in high school, I would just write music and play music, but I didn't really play out. And I kind of, you know, I learned a few chords on guitar and I had a big thing of songs that I had written, you know, about girlfriends and, you know, dealing with stuff, write a song for a girl here and there, try to, you know, get a girl to like me a little bit more. But
did it work or what?
yeah, sometimes yeah.
Oh, man.
Here and there.
Yeah.
But man, I used to rap in my garage with my so I call him my brother. He lived in my family for about 8 years, and his name's Lene, and he grew up in a rough part of San Diego, but would live with my family, and we kind of took him in, and he's literally my brother. Like, I don't know, we didn't officially adopt him, but like we probably should have.
Yeah.
But he's we used to rap in our garage, man. Like we would just put on, you know, on YouTube, just instrumental beats like Lil Wayne, Drake, whatever, and just rap. And
shoot.
and so that was a super important, and that was in high school. That was like some of the best times of my life. I had so much fun, and just the shit we would say, it was so dumb and so bad. I still have some of the tracks still to this day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was fire. You listen back, you're like, what did you just say? Like, you're probably canceled 3 times.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And so anyways, shout out to Lene, by the way, for our freestyles in the green room, we called it, in our garage. But so anyways, I went to college, and there was a rapper out there, and he was in my dorm, and he said, hey, I need somebody to hop on a track with me. And I went to his dorm room. He had a little setup, like garage band, super, like, dude, this would look like the freaking, your setup here would look like the freaking nicest thing you've ever seen in your life compared to what he had. He had like a damn pen as a microphone. Like this shit was like one of those, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like a
Bob Barker.
It was the worst mic I've ever seen in my life. Like, not even. It was horrible. And we recorded some stuff, and I just had so much fun, man. It didn't even matter what the song was or what happened with the music. I was just like, this is what makes me happy. And the next day, I remember I went to baseball practice, and I was a left-handed pitcher, and I was in the outfield shagging balls and running and all the bullshit we had to do as pitchers, and it was just so boring, man. And I was like, this is not it. I'm not having fun. And so I actually that next semester I entered into this recording program we had at Santa Barbara City College. It was a sound like I don't know, some school they had within the school, and learned how to record music. And one of the professor was actually the head of a recording studio in Santa Barbara. And he back in the day did like the Beach Boys and the Eagles. And I mean, he's a legit producer, and he was my professor. And I learned so much, dude, about just music and how to record music and how to record your voice and how to record guitar. And I fell in love with it. And I knew, going back to my roots, that I loved country music. The thing I loved about country music was the lyrics and the way that it made you feel. And it was about family. And I didn't connect with the tractors and the drinking beer and being from the South. Like, I never, because I'm from Arizona, dude. Like, but I did connect with the bonfires and like hanging out with your friends and getting drunk on the weekends and like sneaking out, and you know what I mean? Like there were certain things within the songs that I really connected with. And I think that's what I try to do now with my music is like, listen, I'm not from the South. I'm not from Georgia. 95% of country artists are from Georgia. Like, it's crazy. I'm not from there, and I'll never fit in with that. But what I will do is create my own type of country that people can relate to that aren't from the South. Because it's dude, it is so my buddy Christian, he runs a big festival in Mexico. It's called Baja Beach Fest. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So he's like the head guy. He runs it. And we got to talking one day about like reggaeton and Latin music. And it was so interesting to me because I don't understand what they were saying in the music. Like, I don't get it. But when we're talking, he's like, dude, Latin music and country music are so similar because it's all about the lyrics, and it's about family, and it's about love, and it's about passion. And dude, that's what country music is. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take this country music that has been labeled as like all these different things in the South and being this Southern music, and trying to make it so that people from New York, people from Canada, people from Australia, people from overseas in England and Germany and in Arizona and California can understand it and relate to my music.
I honestly could say that I started getting into country music probably like 2-3 years ago, maybe. And I feel like from when I was a kid, country music has changed a lot since then. It got like it's more like upbeat. It's more like the lyrics are, they could have been the same, but like you said, it's not all about like tractors and everything. It's more like heartbreak. It's more like drinking, like that kind of those kind of lyrics, and just like the beats and everything. To me, it changed. It sounds like it's like a lot more modern now than it was back in the day. Like,
for sure.
Not knocking anything from
the
back.
I'm with you 100%. And there's a lot of people that are, country purists that are going to hear what I'm saying right now and hate me because of what I'm saying. But if it wasn't for Garth Brooks, I would have never heard country music in the first place.
Yeah.
And people still to this day knock Garth Brooks for being too pop. Like, they say, oh, Garth was too pop. And if it wasn't for Garth being too pop and making it onto those pop charts, this little dude from Arizona would have never heard his music. And it took that for me to hear it. And so what I'm trying to do is like make country music a genre that anybody can relate to. And it doesn't matter where you're from. Like, dude, it doesn't matter how big your town is or how small your town is. Like, everybody can relate to getting drunk in a high school, or going out and partying with your friends, or wanting to go to a bar, or like getting dumped, falling in love, having your parents get divorced. Like, these are all things I sing about. Right. And like, that's that's real. And I think for me, that's what I want to represent. It's not about being from the South, dude. Like, it doesn't matter where you're from. Like, we're all experiencing stuff and going through stuff. And if you don't, you know, if you want to say I'm not country, which I get all the time, like, that's fine with me, bro. Like, there's a lot of people that are not country, or, you know, say they're not country. I just want to make music that I like. I don't give a shit what genre it is. And truthfully, genres are dead. And I'm going to be the only person that says this. Genres are dead. You want to sit here and tell me there's a genre? All right, let me listen to your playlist and when you work out. Let me listen to your playlist when you're driving down a dirt road. Let me listen to your playlist when you're working in the office. Like, there's no genres, bro.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And no, just to touch on a little bit, like he said, same here. I'm brand new to country music, right?
Yeah.
I think Morgan Wallen was like his last album was like the first time I started listening to it. And the lyrics, bro. Yeah, it's all in the lyrics, and like you could relate to a lot of it. And I grew up in the area where I grew up, like it was just all rap, hip hop. Like, so that's what I grew up on. That's all I knew. But like the new generation of rap, I started like, I didn't understand the lyrics. I didn't understand like, what is, like, my kids know what it means. I'm like, hey, what does that word mean? Or what does that mean? Wasn't understanding. Then I started hearing like the lyrics of country music, and you could just relate. And then like the love songs are just so full of love, and it just like gives you an appreciation for love. And then like the whiskey, and it's like I started drinking whiskey, listening to country music. So it's the lyrics, and it does, like, if you listen to them and you really can engage with the song, it touches you, and it could get you through some things. I was going through some bad times around that time, and I just remember at night being brand new to it. I was like, I didn't know artists, I didn't know anybody. I knew a couple Morgan Wallen songs. That was it. But I would just put in like in Spotify country songs or new country songs or something, and just let a playlist play, just start listening and becoming fans of all these different artists and stuff. Man. But it was the lyrics, man. It's the lyrics and the story that's being told through country music. And it's crazy now, because now you see, like, I know like you got like Nelly going with who do you go his song
he did Cruise with Florida Georgia Line, and he's done a couple other things as well.
He did and then like Morgan Wallen with Little Dirk, or who was it?
Little Dirk.
Right?
Broadway Girls.
So it's like now all the
that's why you saying like
are
I believe there's no genre really, right? If you look at it, because like I remember when I was a kid too, my mom used to tell me that, like, because of course I was young, right? So I was like, oh man, like when they would put on country or anything, I'd like turn that off. I'll rap kid too, right? I was like, I'll put in rap. And then they were like, oh, you're like too close-minded. You got to like all music. And not until I got older, I started listening to everything. It's cool just to dabble in everything, and everybody has their unique touch to it, right? That's the cool thing I think about music is everyone can express something through different type of music, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like, I grew up on the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Kendrick Lamar and Drake and Lil Wayne. Like, it's so weird. I didn't grow up really with a certain like genre of music. I think that's what's so cool about nowadays is it is mood based. It's how you're feeling, and your playlists are a representation of you. And something I was gonna say is damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. And say something, but we'll touch on it later. It'll come back. But yeah, it's all mood based now, man. And actually, I didn't come up with that idea. The head of Spotify, who used to be the head of Spotify, his name is John Marks, and he helped me out a lot in my career. He was one. You talk about people that help you out.
Yeah,
he was somebody that really like stepped up and changed my life forever. And he's the first person to say that. He was like, man, there's no such thing as a genre. It's all mood based now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really cool.
I'm weird. I'm different, but if I'm working out, I like to listen to R&B. I don't know why. R&B gets me that extra fucking pump. But no, yeah. And if if I'm feeling like up, and I'll listen to rap music. But if I'll just
that's what I was gonna say. I remember what I was gonna say. So I grew up listening to Kendrick Lamar a lot, and the thing I loved about Kendrick Lamar was his lyrics. But as a white dude from Arizona and California, like I never really could relate to growing up in Compton. Like, I didn't experience that. Like, I didn't do that. But does that mean that I can't connect with what he's saying? Does that mean that I can't connect with certain lyrics and shit he says? Like, no, of course. The stuff that he was going through was a totally different thing that I was going through, but I made it my own.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's super cool about music is, for example, I wrote a song called Let It Burn. And Let It Burn was a very vulnerable song of mine. I wrote it about my parents' divorce. It took me 7 years to write. And I know that sounds weird, but like every time I would try to write it, I would just stop because it was one of those things I just couldn't do it. I mean, I'd write like a verse and I would just break down because I couldn't go there.
Yeah.
Emotional. I wasn't ready. And I wrote about my parents' divorce, and I have people still to this day that are like, "Man, thank you so much for writing this song. It got me through, my brother's death, or it got me through, you know, somebody breaking up with me, not even a divorce, or it helped me go through my divorce." Like the way that songs are translated and heard is so unique to everybody that listens to it, right? Like all I can do is make the music, and then the way that people hear it is totally different.
Yeah.
I don't think Kendrick Lamar intended for me to hear drank for the what was that song? Drank was it Pull Up, drank.
Drink.
Yeah, I don't think he intended for me to hear that song and think about, partying with my friends in high school, like I don't know. It's just it's cool how music can be translated.
But it's all in the music, right? It's like that. I think it's kind of powerful, right? In a way,
music is super powerful. Yeah.
Everybody has had that alone time, right? Where they're listening to gangster rap and thinks that they're the biggest gangster, right? Rapping the lyrics, right? You do.
It makes you feel bad.
Yeah, you're like in the zone. You feel it. You can feel it, right? Even though, like
Absolutely.
you said, never been through none of that shit. Don't even know what half the shit is that they're saying. But
I could feel like that in my room. But if I went to the street, dude, I'd be behaving, man.
But
absolutely.
Same thing with country music, right? Same shit. Like makes me want to come out to Nashville, man. It makes me want to,
And that's honestly, man, like for me, I write music for my fans. Like I just want to create an experience, because right now what we're going through in life, a lot of people need an escape. They need a show to go to. They need a concert to go to that gets them out of their normal day. And if I can be that person for a couple hours for somebody and get them out of what they might be going through, and they save up money to go to my show, like, bro, that there's nothing cooler to me than seeing somebody that like saved up money or paid money to see me play. Like, I just want to give them the best night ever. That's all I want to do. And that's my job. That's what I signed up for. That's what I'm here to do.
How did you first adjust to like the fame? Like as far as like somebody coming up to you and recognizing you and so forth, coming up like a picture or whatever. How did you adjust to it?
So I have a good story for you on this, because this is funny. So when I first moved here, I moved here with like hardly any money, and I started working at this restaurant called The Palm, and it was a steakhouse, and I was the food runner. And so I brought all the food to the people, every meal that they had, I brought it out. And I had just had a song. I had 2 songs on Hot Country on Spotify, and I was still working there, which Hot Country is the biggest country place in the world. I mean, still today. And at the time, as an independent artist, to have 2 songs on there was like crazy. So I had 2 songs on there, and I drop off this lobster to this dude, and he looks up at me and he goes, "You sing the song Whole Lot in Love?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Dude, can I get a picture with you?" And I was wearing my apron. Dude, I was wearing my apron. I was wearing my collared shirt, my tie. Like I had, pins and like crumb scrapers in my, and I was like, let me take my apron off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I took my apron off and we got a picture. And I thought I was the shit, dude. I was like, I'm the guy. Like, I'm the guy. And so true story, bro. I went to the back. I went to my boss and I said, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I can't work here anymore." And I put in my 2 weeks, and I literally never went back.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
So that was my first experience with that. But man, luckily, I'm not really at the level to be like Morgan Wallen, dude probably can't go anywhere. But I will say there's something cool about Nashville where it's not like LA, it's not like New York. Like there's no paparazzi, there's no like any of that. I'm not at that level by any means, But if I was, I would want to live in Nashville because it's not that type of town. You're gonna have like still people want to take pictures with me. There's still and like, dude, that's the coolest thing. Like, if somebody wants to take a picture of me, I'm like, why? Like, are you sure? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, dang.
please, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, can I take a picture with you? Man, it happens, but it's like, it's so cool when it does. And I signed up for this, man. I'm excited. Like, I'm ready for everything that's about to happen. And I'm putting out an album later on this year, and I've been working super hard on it. And I just feel like it's things are lining up, man. I feel like the momentum is happening. And like I mentioned, I'm independent. Like, every label said no. And I'm creating a new path that other artists coming up and moving to Nashville can be like, hey, I can do it on my own. Like, I don't need a label. I can do what Austin's doing, you know. And to be able to be somebody like that, to me is the coolest thing ever. I just want to help other independent artists and people coming up and show them that, listen, you don't have to sign your life away to make shit happen.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
How bad is the music industry, man? Like, everybody hears it, right? But like, obviously we're not in it. But like, how bad is it, and like, how hard is it in the music industry? Because I've heard some like horror stories also.
So I had this lady from a very, very big record label that you've definitely heard of. She said, Austin, we won't sign you here because we would have to pay you the price that we could sign 10 artists for. And what that basically told me is they were willing to risk the money on me for 10 other artists. And it's just a numbers game. They have a better chance of those 10 artists making it big than me. And that's fine. But it kind of sucks because I'm in this weird time. I'm in this like weird phase where like I'm not a huge artist, but I'm not also a small artist. So I'm like kind of in this in between where I gotta just get to the next level on my own kind of thing, which is awesome. I'm excited for that. But the music industry, man, it's just like any other business. It really is. They're all about money. They're all about the bottom line. And at the end of the day, you know, Universal or Warner or Sony, the big labels, they report to, you know, a corporate company. They're on the stock exchange. Like, they're big companies, you know, and they have boards and they have chairmen and they have people and investors that they have to report to. And so it's just like any other business. They have to make a profit. And right now it's a weird time to be in the music industry because live shows and things are just now coming back, really, you know. It's the first time in history where a full year, 2 years were taken out of live performances. And so we're kind of getting back to it. And I think it's happening slowly but surely, but that's how, as artists, we make a lot of our money is on the road. But you know, it's a badass business, and they're about their money, you know?
Yeah.
So
How has like TikTok and everything like that helped out with getting more exposure as far as the music industry? You feel it's helped?
Dude, TikTok has changed my life. I mean, truthfully, everybody wants to talk smack on it or have their opinions. Oh, it's the dancing app. Dude, I've never danced once in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, this app is awesome. You know, this app has changed my life, and it's changed my wife's life. And my wife was on the Ellen DeGeneres show because of TikTok. Like,
really?
Yeah, she's way more famous than me. She's way cooler than I am. You actually probably should have had her on this podcast. But she started this thing called the Venmo Challenge, where people would send her $1 or $2, and she would basically, you know, take that money from Venmo and give people a huge tip. And we've given over $300,000 to people.
Damn, really? Oh, that's awesome.
How did she come up with that? That's a unique idea, dude.
Yeah. So during the pandemic, we were both servers. You know, I was in the restaurant, and I actually wasn't a server. I was a food runner. She was a server, bartender, and you know, Nashville's huge on service industry. A lot of people here are in it, and we got rocked during the pandemic. Where a lot of our friends were struggling, and she was like, "Hey, I have 3,000 followers on TikTok. If every one of you gave me $1, I would be able to leave an incredible tip for somebody. And so she did. She actually, I think she might have had like 2,000 followers. She ended up getting $3,000 her first round.
Dang.
And we left 3 $1,000 tips. And
Damn,
that's kind of how it started. I remember leaving the last tip and being like, damn, I wish we could do that again. And dude, it just exploded. I mean, the one that really was crazy, and there were so many, but there was one where it was kind of early on. There was a dude playing violin outside of a Target, and she did a tip for him and tipped him $1,000, and it was on a Saturday night. I'll never forget this. We posted it on Saturday night and uploaded it. The next day, we woke up Sunday morning with $26,000 in her Venmo.
Holy shoot.
Bro, I never even seen that much money in my life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, I ain't gonna go do 26 tips.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna get fat as hell. And at the time, I was like, I don't even have enough money to go to 26 restaurants. Like, how are we gonna do this? But the thing with Lexie is like, she always, and this is why people believed in her, is because she was that vessel. Like, she would, whatever she got in her Venmo, she would screenshot it and she would post it, and she was so transparent. Like, every dollar that she's ever gotten for the Venmo challenge has gotten right back out. And there's been other people that have, unfortunately, like, dude, it's the shit that's happened. We had people that would literally create a Venmo account that looked like hers. They would steal her profile picture, and hers is like Lexie-lately, and it would be like Lexie-lately1 or something.
Yeah.
And people would be like sending these people thousands of dollars.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, shit you wouldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
And then other people would do the Venmo challenge and, like, you know, take the money for themselves. Be, oh, I want to do the Venmo challenge, and leave a big tip, and they just like take the money and never like disappear.
Yeah.
But the thing with Lexie, and the reason that we've been able to give so much, is because she always from day one was like, we are never touching, like, we will not take $1. And trust me, I'm saying it. There were times where I'm like, babe, we need $1. Like, one single dollar would be so nice right now. And she was like, absolutely not. And because of that, because of her being so firm on that, it's why we've been able to do so much. And she's, you know, people trust her, and she's just a badass, dude. She's the best.
Hey,
that's awesome, man. That's a great idea. Actually, that's a super, super great idea.
For sure.
It just speaks to like the person she is, dude, to, you know, that you guys are in a situation where it's tight, but she's looking out for other people, knowing that, you know, you guys are hustlers. You guys will figure out your way.
Yeah.
Let me, you know, bless somebody else, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. And she doesn't even like me bringing it. She's probably going to be mad at me for even bringing it up, because she doesn't like other people to know that we even struggled during that time, because she doesn't want there to be any gray area. But it's like, no, that was real. Like, we were struggling, and even through that, you still refuse to take $1. Like, that shows her character, I think, more than anything. And like, she's just been able to change so many lives, man, really, in a lot of people. And it's even beyond her. Like, there have been, I say that there are people that like took and stuff. There's a ton of creators now that have seen what she's done. And I'm not going to name names. Like, you've definitely seen some of these people that are going out there and doing incredible things on TikTok. And I don't want to say it's because of Lexie, but I know they saw her videos. You know, I know that it might have been in the back of their brain. And she created a culture. I'd like to say that she now has almost 2 million followers on TikTok. I'd like to say she has about 2 million incredible people that follow her. And in a world that's dark, you know, there's a lot of good people too.
Yeah. And that's it's kind of the crabby part about it, right? Is even when you do something good, you always got to watch what steps you're taking, because you know there's going to be some kind of backlash or somebody coming after it and saying, like you said, right?
Yeah.
She has to take screen captures of everything and be full transparency there, because
dude, I got so mad at her for how like ADD or like how like crazy she was about it. But like, I'm so grateful that she was, because looking back, like, we didn't know, you know, if the IRS was gonna want to come after us, or like, you just don't know. Like, it was a new thing. We literally created this thing out of nothing that didn't exist. And I'm so grateful that we didn't take $1, because, you know, the IRS did want us to like prove stuff. Like it's money in, money out, thank God. But like that shit, they look at that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you start taking money from that, you're gonna have to pay. So it, you know, at the time, I'm just a dumbass. I don't know what's going on, but she was like, you know, absolutely not. So you know, it's been a fun journey to see that happen and see what's, you know, come from all that. I've just been the guy behind the camera, but she's changed a lot of lives.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome, man. She sounds like an angel.
She's the best, dude. She's the best.
So this the album, right? You got an album you said it's gonna be dropped at the end of the year? Or
we're hoping for September. I think it's gonna be around September, maybe October, but
so you're that's going viral right now. Crazy, right? Crazy.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be the
so that's the first song on the album.
Song's
but
badass, dude. You got to go check it out, man.
Crazy.
That song
Check
is
it out.
badass.
Thank you.
I was like,
you hear the trap beats in there?
Yeah. I like
there's
it.
my rapping in the garage coming out.
Yeah. I like the intro, dude. The intro, and then you get into it, man. It's a good song. Great song.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, it's a, you know, it's a cool song, and I think the album is kind of just a representation of where I'm at in my life right now. I just, truthfully, man, I just don't give a shit, and it's a really cool place to be. Like I say, I don't give a shit in the fact that I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. That's awesome. I'm in a spot right now in my life where I have cared about everybody's opinion from the day I went, you know, in high school. Like I cared so much about what everybody thought, man. Like I gotta be like this guy, I gotta be like that guy, I gotta be, and dude, I'm like in a spot where I am so just comfortable in my own skin and happy. And so the album's called Country Enough, and the reason it's called Country Enough is because I've been told that I'm not country enough my entire life, dude. Yeah. And so this song, the album's called Country Enough. I have this song on there called Country Enough, and it's like, you know, it ain't that. So the hook is, it ain't on my neck, ain't in my truck, it's in my blood, I'm country enough.
Oh,
yeah, dude,
so it's like, I'm not a redneck. It's not in my truck, you know, but I'm country enough still. And so
how long, or I mean, it's probably a hard question to answer, but like, I've always wanted, not that, I don't know, I've always wanted to write a song. It's just how hard, or like, how long does it take you to write a song? How long from like the time, like, where do you start? That's my biggest
thing.
Like, where do you start?
I'll give you the general answer, and then I'll give you the like more real answer. So I'm signed to Warner Chappell, so I have a publishing deal, and I get paid to write songs like that. My job is to write music, which is awesome. That's why I moved here, and it's like the coolest job ever. Yeah, I'm a published writer. It's dope. So from we go to Warner Chappell or wherever the rights are from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So it's 4 hours. And we 95% of the time come out with a song in 4 hours.
Damn.
And there's typically 3 people in the room, sometimes 4. For Crazy, it was just my producer and myself. It was just a 2-way write. But we, you know, we come up with music pretty quickly. But that's the general answer. The more technical answer is like, dude, I've written songs that, like I said, Let It Burn took 7 years. Truthfully, that song took 7 years because I would start it, and I mentioned this already. I would start it and I just couldn't do it. I would cry. I wasn't there. And then there's songs where you'll write, you know, a verse and you're like, man, I really like that verse, or I really like this title. I've written songs before where like I've written a full song and I loved the hook, I loved the title, hated the song, would go back, rewrite the song, and then I love the song. So there's so many different ways that it happens, but generally it's 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and you come up with a song.
This is probably a stupid ass question, but is it actually like on a pen and paper? Are you doing pen and paper? Or are you doing like on the phone?
No, a lot of it's on the phone now. It's been crazy. I feel like I've been in a weird time where I started out writing on a piece of paper. Like I have a lot of songs in my guitar case that are pen and paper. And I still sometimes like to do it. Actually, my grandma has some of my songs framed that are the original
that's badass.
paper,
Cool.
you know, written lyrics. But so I still like to do that here and there. But a lot of it's on the phone. And then one thing I hate is the Google the like shared doc.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because you see like everybody writing shit. Dude, it's like chaos. In my brain, I cannot do it, man. It's like you see, your guy over here writing and he's like backspace, like, changing shit up. I
Can't
can't do it.
concentrate,
So
yeah.
I refuse. That's the only thing I refuse to do. But I typically just keep notes in my phone. And I have a list right here. I mean, I could show you. I got let's see. Sometimes people will say something, I'll be like, that's dope. And I'll write it down.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, maybe you're in a shower and a lyric comes to your head, you just write that down, and I'm gonna work off of that later, or something like that.
Yeah. So this right here, this is my song titles, and these are all just like things that I've come up with or hear people say. I wrote a song last year called "All Nowhere to Go," and I wrote that song because my father-in-law, he at Thanksgiving, he said, "Hey, Austin, you want some or no, I said, Trip, you want some Kahlua in your coffee?" And he was like, "Shit, I got nowhere to go and all day to get there."
Nowhere to go, nowhere to get
Bro,
there.
I literally wrote that in my phone
Dude.
so fast.
shit.
I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever written. And I wrote that song. I wrote it a couple days later and I put it out and I wrote it by myself. But stuff like that happens all the time. I hear people say things.
That's cool how you could take a little phrase and turn it into a whole dang song, dude.
Well, that's I'm a big lyric guy. So I like
Yeah.
to say in title. I'm a big title and lyric guy. And I think the perfect combination, every artist has a different combination. For me, the best combination is myself, who's typically like lyrics, melody. I'm strong on melodies, lyrics and melody. And then you get like a producer guy who is really musically savvy or can like put the, tracks into the computer and make a whole track. It's like, we call them track guys, but that's a really derogatory term because I think there's so much more than that.
More than that, yeah.
They're like freaking insane, dude. Track guys are the shit. And then paired with that, the third person that works for me is a very, very strong lyric person. Preferably lyric and melody person. So that's the combination that works for me. Everybody's different though. You got to find your synergy as a writer and as an artist. You have to find your synergy that works for you. And that's, for me, it's just like I like a good music guy, a good lyric and melody person, and myself, and we're good. We can write anything.
Can you put the phrase "side hustle" into your next song?
I love the term side hustle. Why'd you come up with the term side? What's the name side hustle? What does that mean to you?
We get asked that a lot, and so no, what it is this was something we did on the side, man. Like he said, we had other things going, and we wanted to try this, and it was going to be our side project. So we could have come up with a name. We were thinking. Actually, we came up with the logo before we had the name. We had a couple other things, but we loved the logo. We had a different name, and I forget what it was, but for that name, we came up with the logo, but we didn't love the name. But we're like, what could we use to keep the logo so Side Hustle fit? And it was our Side Hustle, and it just worked. So that's kind of how it came about.
Yeah, and so I always like I feel like a side hustle a lot of the times what the meaning for me is like a side hustle is not you don't have the luxury of making your dream or your passion your primary income or job, right?
Yeah.
So usually you have to start it as a side hustle. The ultimate goal at the end of the day is to make it your primary income and your primary dream, but you're just not in that right space at that time, right? So you have to do what you have to do to obviously pay the bills and get everything else done. But on the side, you're going to grind on your off time to hopefully one day accomplish your dreams and, accomplish your passion or what you're passionate for.
So this is super weird. I just thought of this when you were saying this, but I think that this, what you guys are doing was never your side hustle. It was your main hustle. And what you guys were doing before was actually your side hustle.
So yeah. Absolutely.
Because that's kind of how I feel about my music and working at the restaurant. It's like I always knew that music, like you said, you're doing this to get to this.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, no, this is not the main thing.
Yeah.
This is not me. I'm not supposed to work at this restaurant. I'm supposed to be in music. And I don't know, maybe you guys feel the same way.
I do feel like that sometimes too. And it's weird because like some people, like, they don't understand it either. Like, they're like, hey, like, you have like a good business, you're working over here. Why are you invested into something that you're starting from the bottom? And it's like, it's not because I like have to do it or anything. It's because it's something that I love. It's something that I really, really like. And then I feel like I have a future in it, and I really would enjoy doing it and waking up in the morning every day doing it. So,
and I love the word hustle too, because if you don't hustle at your side hustle, you ain't ever gonna do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have side jobs, and they're just jobs.
Jobs, yep.
But a side hustle is really cool because that's something that you have to hustle to get and make happen. And so I love that. I appreciate you guys wanting to talk with me and hang out. Like, I believe in you guys. Like, I truly, you have a new fan in myself, and
Same here, brother. Same here.
everybody that, listens to my music and follows me. Like, I hope that you're listening to this, and like, please follow these guys. Like,
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
give them the most love and support, because I'm telling you right now, just being in the room with you, like, you're gonna do massive things. I feel just lucky to even be a part of the beginning, because it is the beginning of something incredible. I truly believe that.
I appreciate you saying that, man. Thank you.
Let's come up together.
Let's do it,
Let's
man.
do it.
Let's do it.
You know what I tell people, bro? And say this, so I tell people, I'm like a stock you can buy low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that stock. Like,
get me before.
get me low.
Yeah.
Like, I promise you're gonna want to sell in a couple years.
Yeah.
Buy it low and
Watch it grow, baby.
Yeah.
watch it grow.
That's funny. That's funny. Man.
So what other are there any like a real big artists that are out, like country artists that you've done work for or written for or anything like that?
Man, so I've opened up for a ton of artists. I actually proposed on stage with Dierks Bentley. He's been a huge mentor in my life. Just because he's from Arizona, so we kind of have a lot to talk about. And then I was actually signed to Thomas Rhett for the last 3 years, and he's been a huge supporter of mine, and just somebody that's really believed in me and helps me out. And he's a good family guy too. You know what I mean? So nothing but incredible things to say about him and who he is. And man, the cool thing about country music is, like, I can sit here and tell you like a bunch of guys that you'd be like, damn, I probably won't go to their concert again. But like, there are so many guys and so many girls and so many just incredible people in this industry that just are good people, man. Because at the end of the day, we're in the fun business. My old manager used to say this: we're in the fun business. Like, it's not like we're in the oil and gas, but like we're in the fun business, man. And
trenches and stuff,
and we're trying to just make fun. We're trying to bring fun to people. And the second you're not having fun, get out. Get the fuck out. Seriously, the second you don't have fun in this, like, you are not supposed to be here. And there's a lot of people that just have fun and are so awesome, man. And truthfully, like, country music is it's like a big family, it really is. And I've at times feel like I'm sitting at the kiddie table, or I feel like I'm not sitting at the cool kid table at times, just because I'm from Arizona. But I'll be there one day, and I respect the people that are sitting there now, and one day they'll welcome me with open arms.
I believe it, man. I believe it. The music is good. The voice is amazing, man. And dude, the way you grind, the way, the work you put in, you're going to be up there, dude. We're from California, so the big country concert over there is Coachella, right?
Oh, dude, it'd be a dream to play Coachella.
I'm going to be there when you're there, dude. I'm going to be the biggest fan, dude.
Yeah.
I like to manifest shit.
Yeah.
Can we do this when I play Coachella in the next couple of years?
Hell yeah.
Can we do it backstage?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when I'm backstage at Coachella, we're doing this again. We're gonna see where we're at.
Yep.
1000%.
Because I don't care how big y'all are.
No, you remember that. You remember that, brother.
You remember that.
All right. Deal.
Just remember that.
When you're headlining Coachella, dude.
Just remember.
Deal. No. Let's make it happen, dude. I think it's gonna be. No, I'm excited to come up with y'all, man. I think we're the next class of people, and it's exciting. It really is.
Hey, I have a question. Maybe a little shitty question, but
I like it.
Hey,
by the way, you ask really good questions. stop saying they're shitty.
I don't know, like
They're good questions.
Yeah, but it might
Okay,
offend,
ask the question.
might offend somebody.
Yeah.
So being on the road, obviously, and then going on with these huge artists, right? And even opening for them, right? How's your wife with like so much temptation around? I like not only you, right? The other country artists that are married and so forth. That's got to be like kind of tough, right? Also,
no, it's a good question, man. And you know, truthfully, Lexie and I have built such a great foundation of trust, and you know, we just communicate and talk about, like, we were long distance for so long, and we just had to build that foundation. And I think, you know, just being on the road and you know, she's doing her own thing, I'm doing my own thing. Like, it's important to just take that time to really be together. I think being together is hard nowadays for couples. Like, even though they're together, they're not really together. Like, I'll be at dinner sometimes with Lexie and we'll both be on our phones. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like intentionally trying to, while we're together, make that time super special and important, because we are, truthfully, like, we're away from each other all the time. You know, like I mentioned, I'm going to Austin tomorrow. She's going to be here. Like, we're all over the place. But I think, like I said, just building that foundation of trust, and then, you know, making the time that we are together super, super intentional is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, dude, you're getting me in so much trouble right now, dude. She's taking so many notes. Hey, hey, always on your phone. Yeah, you need to make more time for me.
No, dude, I'm saying this. No, like, I'm
so
not that. I'm not perfect, dude. Like, no, truthfully.
Now we gotta get his wife on here, dude.
I have screwed up so many times. Like, I've screwed up more times than I could even count, you know. But the thing is like, having somebody to forgive you when you screw up, and have somebody that is willing to, like, allow you to screw up sometimes. Like, sometimes, dude, I just need to, like, make a mistake to figure out it was even a mistake. And it's like, just even, you know, calling Lexie when she's like, hey, why the fuck, like, why didn't you call me? And I was like, oh my God, I got so busy, I didn't even think about it. You know, it's like little things that you just have to communicate, like, hey, I didn't like when you did this, and I don't, you know, I want to be better. Like, dude, we're guys, we screw up all the time, bro. You know,
no, absolutely. And it's we're wired different, right? So communication to us might not be as important as it is to them. So you know, there might be times where she knows I'm working, she's expecting me home at a certain time, and I miss that time. I don't think to, like, hey, I'm running late. My mindset is, you know, I'm at work. You know, it's not always like. There's times often where I miss the time, but a simple text to her, hey, running late,
for sure,
will go a long way. And she gets mad. Why can't you just let me know? And I'm like, because you know I'm at work. Like, so.
But it does go a long way when you do it, though.
Yeah, and then I do it, and it's like, okay, babe, have fun, or knock it out, handle your business. But when I don't, and she gets upset, like, I get defensive right away, and then,
for sure,
so you just got to be more receptive to and understing where they're coming from. And I'm learning, man.
Dude, we are all learning. Absolutely. And I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna mess up so much more. And I wrote this song when I found out I was having a baby. I wrote this song. It's called "More Like Her," and the song is "Be less like me and more like her."
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
Hey, your titles are on point, dude. I love your titles, dude. Hey, but I know it's getting late. I know you got a flight early in the morning, but I think if I can ask a couple more questions.
For sure, dude.
Just because Max, the guy that linked us up.
Absolutely.
You got any crazy Max stories or
oh man, I got a couple. I got a funny Max story. So he just started playing golf recently. And I say recently, but you know, it's been a couple years, but I had him out to this golf course called Legends, and it's a super nice private course out here in Nashville. And he was probably in his, you know, first year of playing, and he hits the ball and it goes in the woods, and you know, we're all on the green, and we're like, where the hell's Max? You know, there we go, and dude is like literally in the woods, bro, like gone. And I was like, is this dude all right? Like, And I just met him that day. I was like, I don't really know him that well, you know? And dude comes out with a big smile on his face, and he has his shirt like this, bro, full of golf balls. Dude found like it was like he was on an Easter egg hunt. He found like 75 golf balls in the woods, and he's like, man, look at all the golf balls I found. I'm pretty sure he's still hitting golf balls that he found from that time. But man, I will like, I was out there in Scottsdale with him as well, and I'd seen him out there Super Bowl weekend. And the thing about Mac is he just knows everybody. I don't even know how he knows everybody, but I think that's just a testament to his character.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's such a likable dude, and everybody wants him to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think just hearing his story of like, you know, he played at Alabama, and I think he's worked his ass off for everything that he has. And I admire that. And like you said, he called me, like, as honored as you were that he reached out to people.
Yeah.
I was that honored that he reached out to me, because it's like his word has value. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was like, be on this podcast, I'm like, bro, 100%, you know, like, so he's just one of those dudes that you love and respect, and everybody in Nashville, like, he could be the mayor, bro. Everybody knows him.
Hey, how's your golf game?
It's gotten pretty good, man.
Really?
It's not like my cousin Cameron. I shouldn't be giving him a shout out. He's so annoying. He's so good at golf. But you know, he's so good. He's like always, you know, par or under par, and it's annoying as shit. But I'm probably like, my handicap is like a 9 right now, which means I'll shoot like low 80s.
Yeah, that's good.
I've broken 80 like a few times.
Shit,
you know?
That's pretty good. Yeah, way better than me.
But yeah, I mean, I am getting. I will say this: I'm getting to the point where I can hit the ball where I want to, and I'm enjoying it. And it's like I very rarely lose a ball.
Let me ask you this, because
Nice.
like I've been in and out throughout the years, and now getting back into it. He's getting into it now. We're playing a little bit more often now. As far as lessons go, did you take lessons when
I took lessons. So being from Arizona, everybody plays golf. I mean, it's just golf.
absolutely.
Golf is like
There's some nice courses over there.
It's just everywhere. So I grew up taking lessons, and so I feel lucky. It's almost like swimming. Like in Arizona, swimming's big too, and it's kind of in California too, right? Like
yeah.
A lot of people out here don't know how to swim. I'm like, wait, what? Like,
Man.
how do you not know how to swim, bro? Like I was swimming when I was like 1 year old. You know, I actually don't remember not swimming. So I actually don't even know how I learned how to swim. I just do.
Like,
Kind of how it was with golf. Like people know how to play golf out there, and it's just cold. I don't know, just different parts of the country. You know, people know how to do things and not. But so I played a lot of golf growing up. And I would, if you're asking if you should take lessons or not,
what would you recommend?
I would say 100% take lessons to a certain point. There's a point where
You're kind of maxed out, right? You're like,
yeah, because I think you can learn a lot on YouTube now. Like, bro,
yeah.
I even learned how to sing, like genuinely sing on YouTube, and like play guitar on YouTube. I've never taken a guitar lesson in my life.
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, you can just learn so much on your own right now. A lot of TikTok has taught me a lot about golf. Even where I'm at right now, there's things like I look at the golf course different than a lot of like amateur golfers. And I say amateur, I'm an amateur, but like I just looking at TikTok videos and like seeing things that, you know, these pros look at and stuff, you can learn so much. So I would recommend that.
Yeah, that's what we were talking with Mac, and I was telling him, like, grew up playing football, baseball, and so forth. The hardest sport, one of the hardest sports I've ever played. It's just it varies so much. Like Mac was saying, perfect example is like one day you leave the golf course, you're like, I got it now.
Yeah.
The next, you're like, I'm never playing this goddamn game again.
Yeah.
I'm never playing this goddamn game.
It's the most like taxing sport on your mental stability, dude. Like, I don't
The
know.
thing that's annoying for me is I play so much better drunk.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It is the most frustrating thing in the world because anytime someone's like, let's go play golf, I'm like, God damn it, I got to go get drunk. You know? And so that's kind of where it's gone for me. But shoot, I mean, I just play so much better. Truthfully, I will show you my scorecards. It's wild.
Probably like loosens you up, huh? Like just
I just don't
relaxes you?
think I'm not
Overthink some
worried
shots.
about what happens. And where I'm at, my swing and everything is like to the point where I know how to hit a golf ball. I can hit a golf ball wherever I want to hit it. The problem is I get in my head and I'm like, oh, well, I should probably do this. But when I drink, I'm like, just hit the damn ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I go back and I play lights out. Dude, I shot my best round ever in Arizona a couple weeks ago. And it was a 77. This is my best round. It's not
Pretty good, man.
Like it's my cousin, he shoots like 70 all the time. Like he's insane. But I shot a 77, which was really good for me.
That's pretty good.
And I was so drunk, bro. I was like, the last putt I had, I was like, I'm seeing 3 balls right now. I shouldn't say that, but it's true. I don't know. I play so much better.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah. We're definitely gonna get into it more. And like California has some nice golf courses also.
Oh my God, the best.
We've been hitting a couple. At least myself has been hitting a couple different courses.
It's also expensive too, which sucks.
Oh, yeah.
I wish it wasn't
true.
so expensive.
Yeah.
And now that more people are playing, it's even more expensive. This public course I went to the other day, it was like $16 for a basket of balls, like just to hit on the range.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, back in the day, I would play a course for $18.
Yeah, that's what's
saying?
nuts. Yep.
How is it $18 to practice?
Just for
Dude, I remember back then, like in California, the nice courses, like a decent, pretty nice course was like cart. Everything was like $60 to $70 on the weekends, right? That was a Saturday. Now you're not paying less on those courts than like $150
for sure
on the weekends, like Saturdays, and you're like,
yeah,
so it is expensive, man. You definitely like I would say like can only hit like a nice golf course maybe once a month, and then all the other ones you got to go to like the low budget courses, man.
The shrubs, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to
be.
be pretty good at those courses too, man. Because anything that goes off the fairway, dude, it's a lost ball, dude. Because they don't cut shit on the other side.
Yeah. Hey, do you have we touched on it with Mac a little bit, and he was really excited to talk about the topic and seeing his, how big of a golf fan you are, or at least playing the sport. You have any opinion on the new golf league and the
man, I think my biggest problem is I just want to see, as a fan of golf, I just want to see the best players play each other.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're not seeing that right now. And I don't care, bro. I don't care who runs it. Like everyone's like, oh, Saudi. Like, who gives a shit? Like, I don't care about that. I just want to see Brooks Koepka and John Rahm, which happened at Augusta a couple weeks ago, play each other. I want to see that, dude. I want to see that every single week, because that to me that's sports. When you turn on the NFL, you see the best players in the world who have worked their ass off to get to where they are playing each other every week. And you're just not seeing that in golf right now. I think that's what's upsetting.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said over there, is like, because you have a champion over here, right? So you're like, well, technically 2 different champions. I want to see the best of the best play in one champion, right? One
it's like boxing, huh? They got like 20 different belts in the same weight
same
class.
thing like boxing. Yeah, it's becoming that, and I think it kind of is killing the sport right now.
For sure.
So so Mac was saying a good idea. I'll give him kudos on this one. This is all him. He was like, they should actually play against each other. They should actually PGA versus actual live, and then see who comes out on top of that one. Yeah. And who do you think's got that one?
I mean, I still think the PGA has the best golfers.
Really?
Yeah. I just think, you just can't compete with the PGA right now, and I still think they're gonna have the best golfers for a long time. But I will say this: if it wasn't for Tiger Woods, if it wasn't for if it wasn't for Justin Thomas, if it wasn't for Jordan Spieth, if it wasn't for some of the top guys right now, even Scotty Scheffler, that said, I want to stay here. I don't care how much money you're going to throw my way. I'm staying here. And I'm telling you right now, bro, these guys got tossed millions.
Yeah,
Millions. Some people are saying Tiger Woods got 500 million thrown at him.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Probably.
And this dude cared more about the integrity of the game than that money. Shit,
Crazy.
dude. I mean, I'd take that money and
Oh,
go.
God,
I'd
yeah.
be gone.
Yep,
Bro.
yep.
So
Yep,
that's
yep.
where I do not have any fault at all for these guys that took the money.
Oh, yeah.
I think Brooks Koepka and those guys are regretting it, though. I really do. And Brooks even admitted that he regrets it. So
the crazy one was that so many golfers jumped, but Phil was the one that took the most heat, right? Because he was like the first big guy to jump. So he took all the shit.
But guess what? He got second at the Masters this year. So guess who's laughing?
Yeah.
Dude got like 150, 200 mil and still got second at the Masters. And he's like 53 or 5. Dude's crushing it. By the way, my dad looks exactly like Phil Mickelson.
Oh, no way.
Really?
It freaks me out. It actually freaks my dad out. He's like, I don't know, it might be me.
We're talking. I was telling Mac the tournament that I liked also was the father-son tournament.
Oh,
that
so
was
cool.
badass, huh? To actually see the up and coming.
Charlie did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's crazy. Even Little John.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
By the way, I'm actually weirdly friends with him on Instagram. I reached out to him, and I think it might have been that tournament, or I wrote. That's a cool thing about social media.
Oh, yeah.
Like these people that you see on TV, you can actually message now. and so I messaged him, and we've talked here and there a little bit. But dude, can you imagine having John Daly as your dad?
Yeah, nuts.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I seen an interview with John, and Bob's friends with him.
Yeah.
And Bob was actually the one doing the interview with him, and they were asking him like, "What advice do you give your son?" And he was like, "All I tell him ever is do the opposite that I do, and you'll be all right in life."
I love it.
He was like, "Yep, just do everything the opposite, and you'll be great in life."
I love it.
But no, man, we got to land this plane. We could talk to you all night.
Shit, I can talk y'all all night, man, for real.
I know you got to fly out at 7. It's midnight on Friday.
Yeah, yep. Nashville, baby.
Yeah, Nashville.
Doing it big. I appreciate it, Austin. Coming down, man.
Thank y'all so much, man. I had a blast. And like I said, if y'all are fans of me, listen to my music, follow me, please follow them. You guys are incredible people and have a bright future. And I'm excited to be a part of the journey, man.
I can't wait till we're at Coachella, dude, talking about this again.
Hey,
run it back.
Hopefully it's Coachella. It's probably gonna be Stagecoach.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Well, maybe you might do a song where you rap.
Hey, at this rate, I'll do either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stagecoach. Did I say Coachella?
Yeah, you said Coachella.
Oh,
Dude.
I meant Stagecoach.
Jacked it up, dude.
I could actually, you know what? I could see it happening at Stagecoach, or I'm sorry, Coachella too.
Yeah,
I could see it happening at Coachella. Who knows?
It's the same event, same venue, same venue,
same area,
same
area.
different week.
Yeah. Stagecoach, and I'm supposed to go next weekend.
Are you really?
I'm supposed to, yeah. So I still need to get an RV. I got to do all this stuff. I just waited to the last minute.
You got to get some boots, bro.
Dude, I know. I need to.
You're here tomorrow?
We're leaving tomorrow, but
go to Tecovas or we have both. We have Lexie, Tecovas, depending on how much you want to spend.
Oh.
These are Tecovas.
Okay.
They're the best boots I've ever had.
You plug so many brands on this show, man. You better get at least one deal out of
Yeah,
this episode.
my boy better get an endorsement somewhere.
I like what I like. I like what I like.
Yeah.
You know?
But no, absolutely. Yeah. We'll check it out. Definitely.
There's a Tecova store down 5th and Broad.
Mm-hmm.
Go there downtown. Like, it's a great spot. You can get some good food and everything. And they're cheap, bro. You can get a really good pair. Like, I'll have these the next 2 years.
Okay.
So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely gonna check you out, man. When you go into concert or on tour, we'll definitely check you out, man.
You guys,
like I said, you gain some fans here.
You
man.
have backstage passes for life. So
brother,
I appreciate y'all, man.
I'm gonna hold you to that, man. Don't be saying that.
Sure.
Hey, it's on camera. It's on camera, brother.
It is. It's
all right,
still.
Austin.
Thank y'all, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you,
appreciate it.